Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. Today we're going to list the top 10 best all around camping knives. And what I mean by that is knives that are good for all the tasks around the campsite. You would only need to take this one knife in order to have a great camping trip. So, what are some of the prerequisites for that? Has to be able to do some cooking, has to be able to feather stick well and do a little bit of batoning, but the purpose of this knife is not to replace a hatchet. But at the same time, it would be nice if it could split some wood. It needs to be able to make things that are small and bushcrafty, like if you forgot your pegs for your tent, it needs to be able to do that. It needs to be able to cut some meat nicely, cut it up, and basically all around survival knife, right? It needs to have a steel which is not going to fail you in the field. I don't think any of these knives that I have here are going to fail you, so they've all pretty much met that bar. After that, it comes down to a lot of preferences. So what I will say is that this is my top 10 list, and this happens to be the knives that I have. But whatever you have is perfectly fine as well, and you may disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. I'll also say that things that are really small, like the ultralight bushcrafter, which I agree is a phenomenal knife, and I'd probably be absolutely 100% fine with this, are just a little bit small for me. I'm thinking more of something a little bit more substantial than about this size, something that can actually chop down a little bit of a tree or something. I could carve a tree up very nicely with it, but it wouldn't take down a sapling if I needed to make a new if I needed to take it down for some reason, right? It just would be a big pain in the butt. So I need some chopping leverage. So with that kind of set, I will ask you to please punch that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, really helps the channel, and thank you to my Patreon supporters. So coming in at number 10 is the little Chinook. It's Lycian. The reason why it's so low on the list is because although it is one of my favorite knives to carry that I've recently got, it's a little bit too small to do the batoning and the cutting down of trees aspect that I just named, but they are still available on DLT. So definitely check them out. I'm about to do a full review of this, and it's a very good review, and I'm about to give one of these away too to my Patreon supporters at the end of this month. So now is a good time to join the Patreon crew. Also a little bit small and coming in at number 9 is the Hawk from a very good knife company, Nitro V. Again, just a little bit too small, but it's actually a phenomenal knife, and I like it a lot. The cutting down of a tree, a sapling aspect of it, not great, but everything else, bushcraft, cooking, all those things, perfectly good. It's not necessarily going to baton anything for you, but that's not necessarily a problem, especially if you have a hatchet on you, but still coming in at number 9 because it's just a skosh too small. Next is the Nesmuk from Bark River Knives. This is a CPM crew wear. A lot of belly on this knife, very thin behind the edge. So it's not necessarily, again, going to split anything for you, but this knife was really made for the Nesmuk trio, which is basically a folding knife, a hatchet, and this guy. And this guy's meant to process meat and scrape some skin. And it's great with any kind of bushcraft task, but not quite all around like what I'm talking about. So that's going to come in at number 7. Absolutely love this knife, though. Really, really cool knife. And then coming in at number 6, we're going to talk about the GNS here. So the GNS is a great knife, but there is no buts about it. GNS is from LT Wright. It's this one happens to be 01 tool steel. It's a beautiful knife. It's a little bit of a combination of a bushcraft type knife and a survival type knife. It has a little bit of a sharpened spine up here, nice swedge up here, and this is a saber grind. Yeah, you would be absolutely fine with this knife. The GNS is really cool, and I like it. This happens to be from the Redwall double red canvas here on this guy. I love their double red canvas. I just realized the other day that LT Wright knives, I have a ton of their double red canvas. It's one of the things that they do very, very well. So that was number 6, I believe, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I actually have more knives than I thought I did on this table, but I'm going to talk about them all. And I'm vaguely going in the order that I would recommend them. And so next would be this guy. This is the Aurora 3, just way too big, but man, this will definitely take down a tree, definitely cook for you. Very thick behind the edge. It's a little bit too big to do the fine bushcraft stuff, but it'll still make you a tent peg. It's a beautiful piece, and I really like it, but a little bit too big in this instance. But yeah, if this was the only knife you had out there, it would be absolutely fine. So I just did a quick count. So I had 11, okay? So we'll say that Aurora was number 6. And in fact, the very first one I started was actually number 11, not quite 10. All right. So then coming in at number 5, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Northern Hunter is it. This is a great knife. Absolutely love the Northern Hunter. This is the extra large version of it, which I think it's kind of hard to find. Another Redwall special from LT Wright. This is the ABL version of it. Lots of belly. Might not process wood as much as you want, but other than that, this is really a game hunter. This is like, especially if you were camping and you were, hunting. This is the knife for you. This is definitely going to do it for you. You can see some of the DNA shared between the Great Northern Hunter and the Nesmuk as far as the handle shape and profile of the blades go. Both are good for scraping a little bit of skin if you need to. Obviously, cutting up meat is going to process that really well. The wood side of it, because it's the saber grind, not going to necessarily baton great, but that's not my top priority. Bushcraft stuff, it's going to be fine with the bushcraft stuff and with feather sticking and stuff like that. It's not going to be the best on this table, but it's going to be absolutely fine. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 left on the table here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left on the table. All right, so coming in on a number 5 is going to be the cheapest knife on the table. That is the $80 Terra Nova Terrapuco. Very affordable knife. Scandi grind, the first one that I've talked about on this table that is a Scandi grind, even though the 4 of the last ones are Scandi grind. This is a great knife, 80 CRV2, good steel. It's actually blackened here on the flats. Scandi grind is easy to maintain and sharpen. It has no secondary bevel. It just comes straight down here. The spine is fairly sharp. The only reason why this is so low is because I find the handle just a little bit uncomfortable for me. Something about it that is a little bit thin and long, and I wish it was more of a Coke bottle type shape. I mean, it is the classic European Coke bottle shape, but it's not quite, doesn't fit my hand quite well. This is the 140, I think it's millimeter version, and there is a shorter version of this. It's just a little bit cheaper. I got the bigger version of this, and yeah, I think it was $60 or $80, and then I spent another $30 or $40 on this sheath with it. So overall, it came out to $100. I think it's a screaming good deal. So I will also say that BPS Knives seems to have some really good knives in the $50 range too. I just haven't explored them enough yet to really give a budget option, but I'm in the process of doing that, and I understand that there are other cheaper versions or knives out there, something like the Mora Robust or the Mora, there's other ones out there, but I don't think they're in my top 10 necessarily, but there are budget versions out there that you can get. The next I'm going to talk about, this is the collaboration between Boker and Dutch Bushcraft Knives, 80 CRV2 as well. Very nice knife. Again, I think that the ergos are just a little lacking for me, but this will do everything that you need it to in the campsite. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. I did have the tip bend just a skosh on me, and I don't know why that is. I guess it's because I was batoning with it and testing it, and the tip just barely bent on me, which is a little bit of a shame. A little bit more expensive than I would like it, but I hear that they're coming out with a Saber version, and that maybe you can find it at Blade HQ or something like that. Definitely worth checking out this guy as well. I do like me some Scandi grinds. I have 3 knives left. Number 3 is going to be the extra large Workhorse. This guy is a little bit too tall for me, but it feels really good in the hand. LT Wright, O2 knife steel. Gonna not, you can use this like a machine. It's gonna do everything that you need in the campsite. It seems like it'd be the perfect size, nice feeling in the hand, hammer grip, almost nice and thick in there. This was a Red Wall special from LT Wright. That's why it's these crazy colors. I was able to spec that out myself. Yeah, just sharp spine, throws a great spark. Just a little bit short for me for processing wood, but again, that's not the primary thing. As far as doing all the bushcraft type stuff or making a peg or chopping down a small sapling, this is definitely going to be able to do all of that. And then the last 2, if you were looking at all these and thinking, what is going to be the last 2, you probably knew. And the last 2, of course, are going to be these 2 guys. And I'm going to list them both as number 1, with I can't even quite decide. And I've had this debate going with myself for the last like 3 or 4 years. Is it the Bravo? This is the LT Bravo, Magna Cut. And this is the A2 version of the Genesis. The Genesis is a phenomenal knife. Feels in the hand very comfortable, even though it looks like a hammer grip type thing. It feels amazing. The scallops here on the fingers work really well for all kinds of things. Will definitely process wood like no one's business. It'll stay sharp forever. It does a good job of cooking. It splits your carrots in your food because it's a Scandi grind. But then again, when you're splitting vegetables or root vegetables or something like that out in the field, you don't necessarily mind if something's going to be a little bit thick. Whereas the convex grind here on the Bark River knife is going to be a little bit smoother and easier to cook with, but it's still going to baton absolutely fine. It's going to stay sharp for a very long time. This one I got with the ramp here. If I had to do it again, I would get the rampless version of this. Doesn't throw as good of a spark for the ferro rod as the sharpened LT Wright spine, but then again, it will still do the job fine. The ergos on this are great classic handle shape. I have the polished finish on this. Wish I had gotten the matte finish on this, but I did not. And I guess I just want to mention one other knife in here with all these. As I was making this, I realized I had left out a contender for this, and this would have ended up being very high on the list. It is a Scandi convex combo grind, and it's the European bushcrafter from Bark River Knives. It's the Magna Cut version. I find this to be an exceedingly good knife. The ergos on this are a little bit different than your standard Bark River. It's more of the Coke bottle shape to it, and the combination Scandi convex grind works really well. Stays sharp forever and very sharp on the spine too. And this one I got in matte without a ramp or anything like that. It has this little hole here. It was supposed to be for ferro, I believe, but I also use it for scraping off wood off of things when I'm making pegs. The major downside to this is that the sheath that it was sent with was a size too small, and it was really dangerous forming this and getting this. Now that it's already formed, it's absolutely fine. So we're going to call this one in the top 3 too. So my top 3 are definitely going to be the Bravo, the European Bushcrafter, and the Genesis. Definitely top 3 knives right there. So thanks so much for joining me. You'll notice that most of these knives are American made. The only exceptions are 2 European knives, one German and one what is this, Finnish or Swedish? And other than that, it seems like the camping knife world has really been cornered by, in my opinion, American brands. Although, the Tarapuco and Boker absolutely great. And even the cheap Moras are good. And the BPS knives, which are made in Ukraine, those are good too. I'm not going to show any right now because I've just started really getting into those, but I've been super impressed with the BPS knives. Like there is a Dutch Bushcraft a collab that's a budget version of this knife that they've done with BPS knives for Ukraine, that are made in Ukraine, that I absolutely, what is it called? It is called the Bushman, that I'm about to do a video about, and I just don't want to show it right now, but I think it's going to be absolutely killer. So yeah, let me know what knife you would recommend, or that if you could only go out into the wild with one knife, and you're camping, what knife would you take? What would be the best all-around camping knife for you? Really like to hear your comments on that too. Maybe it's something that I'll buy, because I'm always fascinated in this realm, and I'm about to do a bunch of camping trips, and I'm about to go on a long extended camping trip where I won't be able to take 20 knives. I really need to pare it down to like 3. So I'm really curious to see what you guys say. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thank you to my Patreon crew. If you want to get a chance to win a knife of the month, follow that link down below. For $3 a month, you get entered to win a knife of the month. And like I said, I'm going to be giving away this Canuck at the end of May here. This little Canuck with this sheath, and it's a beautiful, beautiful knife, $260 knife. So now's the time to become a Patreon supporter. Leave a comment, turn on those notifications, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.